Hello, what is up guys, it's Kyle from KGR doing a review on the Figma Samus. Now, I want to call this a rather late review, merely because of the fact that this is a rather old figure. It came out almost 2 years ago. I think it came out sometime in 2014, and I never managed to pick it up, mainly because I wasn't really too interested in Samus as a character, mainly because I'm not really much of a Metroid guy. However, I am into Smash Brothers, and I've been playing as her lately, and I absolutely love her, so that's kind of the main reason why I got this figure. And plus, it does look like a gorgeous figure. I've been playing with it for a little bit, and I gotta say, I am thoroughly impressed. This is an awesome, beautiful figure. Is it better than a True Force Mega Man X? I personally wouldn't say so, but it is a really good figure. But that's not really much of a review. We gotta get into the details, what I like and dislike about the thing. So, let's get into it. Now, the detail on this figure, I'm not gonna lie, it is gorgeous. However, I kind of did expect a little bit more out of it. Like, you're looking at it on camera, and it does look all nice and chromy and stuff like that, and it looks gorgeous. However, when you actually have it in person, it's not as chromy as it looks on camera. However, you are still going to be genuinely pleased with this figure. It's just that after looking at the amiibo and looking at the Jack Specific World of Nintendo Samus, I personally don't own it, but I have seen it in stores a couple of times, and now it's a little bit uncommon, so that kind of sucks. But oh well. But after looking at both of those figures, I kind of did expect a little bit more out of this one. But I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed in it. It's still a beautiful figure, and if anything, it actually just says how well amiibos look, which I will be comparing that really soon. Now, this is based off the design of Other M, and luckily Smash Brothers for the Wii U kind of went with that design. When I bring out the Smash amiibo, you will see a couple differences that are not on the Figma. Whether you should be disappointed in that or not, it's really up to you. Other M did technically come out before the amiibo, so maybe this was the design choice, and then they altered it a little bit for Smash. But it is still going to go beautifully with your Smash display. Unlike the Figma Link, where it's based off Skyward Sword and not Twilight Princess, so the things are a little bit, like, you know, mirrored. But still, a beautiful figure for a beautiful Smash display. I'm not going to lie, the sparkly design on her chest actually looks really, really gorgeous. And you can see a little bit of that metallic coating looking thing on her shoulders. Actually, you can see it almost all over her suit. The arm cannon looks absolutely amazing. And I love the fact that there's actually a hole right here, because with the Mega Man D-Arts figures, here you have to replace the tip in order for you to put a little blaster effect, while with True Force and Figma, they have proven that you do not need to do that, which is really, really awesome. And Kotobukiya has done that as well. Like, the detail looks so amazing. I love, like, the rivets, like, in between her armor. And I love how with the Figma joints, sure, they couldn't pull it off perfectly, but the choice of a black Figma joint makes it blend in so well and make it look so natural. It has that kind of detail that the Mega Man X D-Arts has, where the joints are hidden so well because of the armor. And the bottom of the shoes, them feet, looks really, really beautiful. And I love how these figures don't have any branding on them, so it doesn't really feel like a Chinese piece of crap. Like, oh my god, like, this figure is so gorgeous. Oh my goodness, like, I do not regret buying this figure at all. There are some figures I do regret buying, like maybe like the D-Arts Black Zero, but the price did go up on him, so I'm almost happy that I bought him. But this is a figure I do not regret buying at all. For a character I barely know, and I know I have a shopping problem, and I shouldn't have bought this figure because I don't really know the character, but shut up! I love this! This is gorgeous! Now, normally Figmas have a great amount of posability. However, because of the fact that the way that Samus is designed, mainly because of her shoulders and how her head is and yada yada yada, her articulation is a little bit hindered. Alright, so let's go over the head. We do got a little bit of a ball jointed head. You don't really have much of a Figma joint up there, so you can't really pose it around all that much. I kind of wish you could move it forward a little bit, like you could with the SH Figure Arts Mario or something, but oh well. Alright, then we got some universal shoulders, so they go a little bit outwards. As you can tell by this little ball shoulder thing, it does get hindered quite a bit. They do go forwards and backwards pretty well. You can do a full 360. No, I take that back. No, you cannot do a full 360. Oh, no, I take that back again. You can. It's just that you gotta be very careful with it. And here, up right under the shoulder, it looks like you do have a little bit of a swivel right here. So, here, normally Figmas don't really have much of a bicep swivel, like right at their elbows. So they usually try to sometimes put it up on their upper arm. So they do that really well with this figure, and I'm really happy with that. And then we get beyond 90-degree bend. So normally I like double jointed figures, but the Figma joints do the job really well. It almost gives you the full power of a double jointed elbow without all the ugliness of the mechanics of a double jointed elbow. And then we got a double swivel type of deal at the wrist, so it goes side to side and it does go forward and backwards. So it's not really much of a like ball joint or anything, so you can see how the joint is. So it does swivel side to side and then it moves like that. And putting the hands in and out, super duper easy. However, I don't really like the way these old hands are designed, because here, if it does fall off the shelf, it does have a good chance of breaking. I personally done that with a Figma Link before, but luckily I did get a new one like immediately. And luckily with the new designed Figmas, they have the they have the wrists completely changed. So if they do break, they do give you a replacement piece, which is so nice. But the way they're designed, they're not going to break all that easily, which is very nice. Okay, then we got a rocker type of deal under her chest, which looks really great. Like, it blends in very well, and I'm really impressed with that. And then we get universal legs right here, like right around the groin area, and again, the way it, like this design looks really good. However, the legs do kind of pop off a little bit easily. When you first get the figure, it's gonna pop off like almost immediately, and you are gonna be disappointed at first. But then once you start playing with it a little bit more, you actually learn how to work around it, and you're not forcing yourself to work around it. It actually just genuinely naturally comes out to you, and it's not hard to deal with. So it does go outwards, forwards and backwards, and it does go out a little bit. But pulling off some pretty extreme poses, like her trying to get down on one knee, like suppose she did a really high jump and she's landing one knee with her either her arm cannon down or her hand down. It is not hard to pull that kind of pose off without making her legs pop off. Again, it's going to take you a little bit of time to get used to it, but again, it just comes by natural. Anyway, we also get a Figma joint at the knee. Fortunately, it does have that Figma curse where they give you a big ugly joint in the back of the knee, so you see it back here. But the way you're going to be posing here, it's going to like be hidden anyway, most likely, so it doesn't really matter. But we do get a beautiful bend right there. And we also get a Figma joint at the ankle. Normally they have special joints that are mainly like the head, where it can give you a crap ton of articulation. However, it does look like just an average Figma joint. But the way the boot's designed, here you also see this on the Figma Lucina, which is a recent figure. You can see it swivels side to side on the foot itself. And just like Figma Link, you also get a little bit of a toe bend. Not as much as Link, but almost just as much, and it does look really well. In fact, when you open the figure, it's already bending its toes. So the paint job is beautiful, the detail is immaculate, and the articulation is on point. Well, sort of, except for the shoulders and maybe the head. But let's get into the accessories. So as every other Figma, we always get a Figma stand, which I absolutely love these stands, and you always get a Figma baggie, which I normally never use. We also get a small tree of hands. However, since Samus only has one arm that has hand options, they didn't really give us too many hands. As you can tell, we have a thumbs up right here, an open palm, more of a relaxed hand that can also mainly grab her armor and stuff, and a holding things hand, which personally I don't really see why they put the holding things hand in there, mainly because she doesn't really have anything to hold with all these accessories, so it's almost not necessary. Almost, no, this thing is completely unnecessary, but it's good, I guess. If you want to have her holding the Master Sword, by all means, go ahead and do that. We also got a replacement tip, so it looks all super sexy awesome. And the end, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy with this design, because trying to pull out the, not the Figma, but the SH Figure Arts, not even SH Figure Arts, it's D Arts, when you're trying to pull out the tips for the D Arts Mega Man and stuff like that. Here, sometimes it flies out really easily and it falls out, while with this, it feels like more sturdy and actually gonna stay in there extremely well. And replacing the tip is not hard at all. You just pull it out, and then you plug it back in. But here, as you can tell, it does have a little bit of a design saying, hey, you have to go in this certain way, which is not very hard to see. So you just plug it in, and you're good to go. And just like the other ones, this one does also have a hole. So if you do want to shoot something while this is out like this, by all means, go ahead. We also have two arm cannon shots. We got one that's more of a single blast, and then one that's more of a double blast. Whenever I do pose a figure, I always go with the single shot. To be honest, these look really weird, but I still love them. They do look really cool, but they also do look kind of weird. It kind of sucks that we don't have a giant like ball thing as an accessory. Like, you know, when you're playing Smash Brothers and you're doing the B charge shot and then it comes out as a giant ball. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with that, and I think it would have been a beautiful display, and it would be nice to like have maybe an extra stand, or maybe just have it plug on a normal stand and then just have Samus stand up by herself, because she stands up by herself no problem. She's not top heavy much at all. Anyway, plugging these in is not much of an issue. You just take this and you plug it in. You're good to go. Stays in extremely well. However, you do want to be careful without. Make sure you don't knock this off the shelf or something, because this probably will break fairly easily. It's not as bad as Figma Pit's arrow. That thing is so freaking fragile, and I hated how fragile that thing was. It was, oh my god, it was terrible. Whatever you do not put the rings on that little arrow, because you can't get them off, and it's a terrible design. But this will work extremely well. And of course, we have the Morph Ball. And I'm not going to lie, this is actually really, really gorgeous compared to the, the Jack Specific World of Nintendo one. That one looks kind of meh, but this one looks absolutely beautiful. And if you saw earlier, it does have a hole, so you could put it in the Figma stand if you want to. Personally, I'm not going to do that because I kind of find it odd and I wouldn't do that. But still, the fact that the option's there is very nice. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is actually a really great accessory, but still, it should have came with the full charge ball blast attack. I forget what it's called. I'm sorry, but you should have came with that. You know what I'm talking about. And if for some reason you're not familiar with Figmas, replacing the hands is super easy. You just pull it out, pick another one you want. We'll go with this hand, with the relaxed hand, and slide it back in. Sometimes they do slide out a little bit when you're trying to like articulate them a little bit, but sliding them back in, not hard at all. But again, I don't really like the design of the old like swivel deal. But again, they don't really do this anymore. However, when this figure does end up getting reprinted again, they are going to stick with this design, unfortunately. Mainly just to cut production costs down, so you don't have to really change much. But this figure doesn't really get reproduced all that much often anymore. It has been reproduced at least once or twice. But Figma Link got a crap ton of reproductions. So if you don't pick him up by now, then you're really snoozing or losing. Because right now, he's like anywhere from 37 to 40. He's not expensive at all. And as you can tell, probably because of the pose, we are going to be comparing it with the amiibo. Now, amiibos are mainly less detailed compared to figures like Figma. Unfortunately, I don't really have the World of Nintendo Samus to really compare it to, but besides, the designs are completely different. That one's based more on Metroid Prime. These are mostly based on Other M. Well, Smash 1 is roughly based on Other M. Obviously, it's based on the Smash Brothers display, but as you can tell, the things have changed dramatically. Like, you can tell by the shoulder pads here, they put some black little lines there, so like a little gapping type of deal if this thing wants to autofocus. There we go. As you can tell, we do got some gapping, like some little black marks all over the place. And we also got some on the legs as well that is not really visible on the Figma. The detail on the arm cannon, like more toward the tip, where you see all those little lines right there. I'm not gonna lie, it does look a little bit better on the amiibo than it does on the Figma. Now, the only thing I'm going to complain about the amiibo is the way that the head is shaped. If you look at it from different angles, it does look kind of weird, especially from down here. Her head looks a little bit misshapen. That's one thing I'm going to give the Figma. The Figma head looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks right. Beautiful. But still, my mind is pretty blown because of the fact of how much detail they put into amiibo. And it's actually pretty comparable to a Figma, in my opinion. Whether your opinion is different, that's really up to you. So overall, what are my thoughts on this figure? I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my new favorite Figma. Her accessories are great. The detail on the figure is absolutely beautiful. I love her articulation, despite it being a little bit hindered by her shoulders and a little bit of her neck. However, it's still a beautiful, brilliant figure. However, I am a little bit disappointed because of the fact it doesn't come with a full charge shot. And the fact that her legs did pop off a little bit easily at first. But again, you learn to grow used to it very easily. And like pulling off this pose, her legs did not fall off once. So again, you'll get used to it, no problem. If you are a Metroid or Smash Brothers collector, I would be surprised if this figure is not in your collection already. The figure does average for about $50 plus shipping, so I do not recommend waiting for a price drop. This figure is probably going to go fast. Like on eBay, it's already going for 60 or maybe 70 plus. So pick it up while you can. I will have some links in the description for places that you can get it for about $50. And that concludes the review of this figure. So if you're new and you like what you saw, then don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And next figure I'm going to review is probably going to be the Kakashi SH figure art, so look forward to that. And after that, I'm going to be doing the Asuna ALO version Figma. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter, especially my Instagram if you love pictures of figures like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one.